Bono's couch, find out why they do what they do, and this week is no exception. This week we have two exceptional guests. We have Doug Zambon of the band the Vansanders, and we have solo singer-songwriter extraordinaire Matt Cook. But first, and as always, Chris Dubrow.
Mr. Erickson, how are you doing,
What's
sir?
up, man? How's things?
They're all right. How are you?
I'm all right.
Yeah, this was a long weekend, right?
Was it?
Did you feel it? I felt it was long.
I don't know. This weekend just...
Yeah, no, it was I was at the Scarlet Pub in New Brunswick until midnight last night. So I should tell you how I'm feeling today. How's it going?
Yeah, so who do you go see? I should know this
no.
because we talk about this each week.
Yeah, but we talk about
in the events.
We talk about so many events.
But by the time we get to Sunday, it's kind of like we're basically running on
We're already looking at next week. We're not thinking about last week. No, I played with Jeff Linden and the Black Spot Society. Check them out. jefflinden.bandcamp.com.
We had a great single.
Burn the Witch. Burn the Witch. Yeah.
Tell me to smile.
That features me on accordion and bass. So like that's pretty much my shining achievement as a musician is to have
playing
both those
two
things
instruments
at the same time. Yeah, I was playing and the recording.
Did you have the accordion like between your knees?
Yeah, it was
one
like
of those, like street.
It was a one-man band.
Wasn't that like Dick Van Dyke from Mary Poppins? Right? Didn't he do the one-man band?
Yeah,
thing?
but I was not nearly as drunk as Dick Van Dyke was during the filming of Mary Poppins. I tried, but I couldn't get there.
Couldn't get to
his
Dick
accent,
Van Dyke's level.
Have you watched that movie in the past 5 years maybe?
No.
You really don't go back and watch the whole thing because you don't need to, but truly watch it for Dick Van Dyke's accent because it is unlike anything else I've ever heard in my existence.
Just unprecedented in truly, all of cinema.
In theory, it's like a Cockney accent, but it's just so out of control, not anything else.
I used to watch that a lot.
I feel like guys like us, we kind of gravitate towards Dick Van Dyke.
Did we?
Yeah, I certainly did. Whenever I was an actor for a while, whenever there would be a review of something that would come out that I was in, they'd always be like, Chris Dubrow doing a great Dick Van Dyke, and I was like, why did I can't it's 2010 and I'm being cited as Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke.
I thought we would I could be the new one. I could be John Ritter, but no, it was always Dick.
So wait, are you saying that John Ritter became
the
lineage from Dick Van Dyke? Somehow leads to John Ritter.
Yeah, it's Dick Van Dyke, John Ritter, and then it was too much cocaine in the 80s, so who knows what was going on there. And then the 90s started happening. I think Will Ferrell kind of took that over, and he got a little more chubby. You know what I mean? What's the last tall, skinny guy that was the comedy guy? You know what I mean?
Oh goodness,
right?
Last tall, skinny guy that was the comedy.
Also,
guy.
when's the last time you saw a flat out comedy in theaters?
Me?
Yeah. I've seen funny movies, but I haven't seen a comedy, I haven't seen an Anchorman in theaters.
I would say I think the last time was probably Anchorman 2.
Oh.
That type, Step Brothers.
Yeah, when those movies
Knocked
happening.
Up, Anchorman, that sort of pedigree of films. Or maybe Bridesmaids.
Yeah, probably.
Actually, I think
something
Bridesmaids.
That. But in any case, now, unless there's a superhero in it,
I don't do the superhero movies.
You don't do them?
Although I'm curious about Black Panther because it seems like it's getting really good.
Oh no,
reviews,
it whipped ass. It whipped
Did
major ass. Yeah, no. I saw it yesterday, dead tired, middle of the day, went with my best friend and we were front row, huge
cool.
theater. So it was cool. It was great. I mean, it's another superhero movie. It whipped major ass.
That's good though, because I love both both lead actors. I've been with Michael B. Jordan since the Wallace days.
Yeah, he was
when he was Wallace on The Wire.
Yeah, he was in The Wire. I always forget that. Yeah, but it's nice to see that he has gravitated from small-time drug dealer to large-time arms trafficking dealer now. That's a new role. You'll see it in the movie.
Hey man,
Check
you
it out.
gotta.
Let's
you
give
gotta graduate up, right?
Let's give the movie that now has the biggest box
to the Baltimore low-rise
Yeah.
projects
Yeah.
to potential world domination.
What I like about this is that I'm recommending going and seeing it. Hey, it needs the one more bump.
Yeah,
Black Panther, largest box office opening of all time. Guys, check it out. I don't know if you've heard about it. Black Panther. Anyway, anything else?
I think we could bring Doug.
I think we can.
I think we've.
Let's get his opinion on Marvel movies.
Yeah, let's bring out Doug Zambon, shall we?
You went the long way around. Hey, Doug, was that the long way? I think so.
Was it?
Yeah. Oh no, that's actually. What's up? What's up, guys?
What's going on? How are you?
What's happening, man?
Hey, good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, shaking both hands.
It's a professional.
Yeah.
Look at that.
What's up?
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know who to look at yet.
Mostly him.
Probably me.
I'll chime
but
in.
I mean,
don't
you
worry.
can look at Chris if that makes you more
If you
like
want,
that makes you more comfortable.
Could I look at him and talk to you?
I mean, that'd be weird, but sure. So I guess the first question I have is where does the name Vansanders come from?
I'd love to give you a good story, but there is not a good story. That's
Okay,
just
you want to
the
give me
original-
just an okay story?
It's the original drummer's name. That's it.
Oh,
That's all I got.
all right. So
Hasn't
like
been in the band for 4 years. That's
But he just kept it.
just kept it.
I respect that.
well, that's I mean,
You
you know,
know.
Van Halen, right? Like, why not, right?
True.
And the great pantheon of bands named after their drummer.
Well,
Fleetwood Mac and Fish. And Dave Clark 5.
yeah, that's right. He
Yeah.
was.
Those are, and now Vansanders.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to
We're not
count,
alone, I guess.
you know, like Buddy Rich, like
Yeah,
the
well.
Buddy Rich band.
Yeah, that was that classic rock and roll band, the Buddy Rich Band.
Well, speaking of the lineup, you know, you're named after your original drummer. You've had a few lineup changes
Oh,
over
yeah.
the years, 3 or 4, something like that.
So this is the third full new lineup change.
Okay.
But we've had like, I couldn't even tell you how many like substitutes, like individuals replacing for like a period. We probably had like 20 people in the band total.
Wow. So it is very Fleetwood Mac-esque in a
I
way.
guess.
Like it's kind of appropriate that you've got the name, like the band named after a band member and the constant shuffle of personnel.
We do get compared to Fleetwood Mac all
How many love triangles in your band?
the time. only 2. I think only 2.
So
That's
far.
that's not that many,
No,
all
it's not
things
bad.
considered.
I mean, the Burns has been the same 4 guys, and we've had like 20 love triangles, so it just keeps cycling.
How many triangles can you make out of just 4 people?
You would be surprised if you did the math. I don't know the math.
What, you know, to get serious for a second, what's the level of frustration, what's the level of frustration, or I don't want to say like disappointment, but as you kind of shuffle through band members, you know, there's that you get to a certain point, and then it's you know, you kind of restart the learning curve with new people. Like, how does that affect a band's progress?
I mean, excuse me. Obviously, it slows it down. But it really depends on, it's like I said, you know, we've had a lot of fill-ins, people one-off replacements,
Yeah.
you know, or like one person is replaced permanently. But I've also had like the entire lineup change all at once. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so that
So what would you rather do?
one person is
One at a
easier.
time?
One at a time works better.
Okay.
But yeah, we've had this is the third group of guys at once that have been changed.
Wow.
If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
I mean, for the most part, yeah, I
Okay.
think so. It's
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. For
to
sure.
say the least.
Yeah.
Um,
The good thing though about that is that it only gets better and better because my patience for teaching people the same songs gets lower and lower. So
so
you got to learn it faster, basically.
okay, I was gonna say yeah, or either that, or you just kind of focus on like the latest batch of songs.
Never really worked that way, actually.
Really? So you
Yeah.
go back and well, you guys haven't. I mean, you've been releasing records for only about 4 years now.
Yeah,
so
we
it's,
got 4 releases.
even the older stuff. It's not like you're reaching back, you know, a decade plus.
True, and it also it's not like we play every song. You know, some
Yeah.
songs you know you just don't play anymore.
But that's good though. That I guess that kind of speaks to the consistency of the catalog, right? When you know can still kind of pull from that early work. Do you notice like a difference
Yeah.
in, you know, because the band, like listening back through some of the early stuff and through, you know, no matter what, through the last record, it still sounds like the same band. It doesn't sound, I mean, there are little differences, but it doesn't sound like, you know, you and a completely different group of people. Like if you told me these were the same 4 guys the entire time, I'd believe that.
That's great.
And it just seems like kind of this sonic evolution from one album to the next. You know, do you notice any differences? Because I know when you're on that end of the fence, you tend to kind of notice everything. So what do you notice, or what do you kind of, how do you sort of, I don't want to say like reconcile, the early stuff against, what you're doing now, but, what differences do you notice between what how you used to do it versus how you do it now?
Well, I guess, we used to be more, I'm going to regret saying this, but we used to be more of a
Regrets.
punk country band,
Okay.
which we're not as much of anymore. But we still like that, so we always bring it back. You know what I mean? So like we kind of always, I guess you could say that we're constantly evolving. Like I think at least all our records do sound a little different. I guess we've been getting a little more punk rock in the more recent stuff, but we always pull something back from the previous work, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does, because then I guess you get to draw that through line between, and then you get, someone like me who isn't intimately familiar with, the entire body of work, that can kind of go through, listen to all the records, and say, oh yeah, this all makes sense.
Yeah, like there's a certain, you want your music to change, or at least I want my music to change, but you have to maintain some kind of continuity within the same project.
Yeah, of course.
And I think we're able to do that pretty well.
Yeah, I would say so. Now you mentioned like country punk band. I understand you used to go see the Arlo Guthrie Thanksgiving shows with your dad.
Where'd you hear that?
I did my homework.
Yeah.
No, I read there was I think didn't Bobby Olivier do an article about you guys like 2 years ago?
Yes.
And it mentioned that.
Yep.
What I wanted to ask about that was, what role did your family play, or did that bond, from like father to son kind of play in, you sort of deciding that you wanted to do music?
That's an interesting question. I don't know how to answer that, actually, because I wasn't really. My family always encouraged me to play music, but I wasn't exactly encouraged to pursue music as a career.
That's
Since
I don't think that's an uncommon answer.
Yeah, exactly. Let me think how to answer that. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, each family member kind of geared me in a different musical direction.
Okay.
Like my dad took me to shows like that. Speaking to that specifically, actually, he also took me to a Woody Guthrie musical.
Oh, wow.
Like multiple times. And for whatever reason, I was probably like 6. I was like fascinated by it. I still have that CD.
Really?
It's
What?
amazing.
What's it called?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I don't remember. It was like a Woody Guthrie song name. I don't know. But it was like an off-Broadway thing. It's long gone. I doubt it continued anywhere.
Yeah.
But that stuck with me. And then my mom introduced me to like a lot of 70s stuff, more like soul-based, like Santana kind of stuff.
Okay.
One of my first shows I think I went to was Santana, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, PNC.
That's not...
Lawn
that's...
seats.
Oh, well, hey.
The way Santana's meant to be experienced.
Right? Yeah,
lawn
lawn
seats at
seats.
Except
PNC.
without Rob Thomas, which I was bummed about because I love that song.
Oh, yeah, of
That
course.
was a bummer.
I mean,
That's the new national anthem. I don't know if you guys heard, but
Did you hear the Fergie national anthem?
yeah, no, she did it, so they're done
Oh,
with that
goodness.
one. We just brought
Oh,
Forward
man.
Smooth by Carlos Santana featuring Rob Thomas.
Dude,
So that was the final nail in the coffin of the
Yes.
Star Spangled
No,
Banner.
no more of that. It's not just
That
smooth.
was really strange. And watching those the NBA players, like,
yeah,
kind
they're
of
all
just
laughing. They loved it.
yeah.
I don't know what was going on there.
It was
man.
well, we can agree on it was not Fergalicious
No.
or Definitious. which
No,
is-
it was neither of those
It was
things.
neither.
It was neither of those things.
Who are we to judge Fergie from our safe space?
It
on our
sounded like she
couches?
was singing to a remix of the song.
Yeah, like I want to hear her take on like what happened because it sounds something happened. She didn't go on being like I'm just gonna sing the Star Spangled Banner and then that happened. Like what was going on there? There's a story there. You know what I mean?
I wonder if in the middle of it, she realized that that the wheels were kind of coming off as she's doing like the thing with her hand and like changing
That was towards
notes.
the end, though. I don't know.
Oh, that's right.
She committed. She totally committed.
So
yeah,
she
you gotta
just
give her
leaned
that.
into it.
She whatever she did that the entire time, which takes some gumption. She didn't like jump back and like try to finish strong with melody. Like, no, she stuck to it.
She's stuck to the remix.
That's my girl. That's my Fergie.
That's it. You just played the Stone Pony this past weekend. How'd it go?
It was fun.
Yeah?
You
Low
know-
light,
What's that?
low light,
was awesome.
Little Vicious,
Yep,
right?
battery electric.
Nice.
It was great, and everybody was worried about the snow, because we were supposed to get snow, and I didn't think it was gonna happen. I thought it was bullshit.
Oh, yeah?
And then it snowed, and it snowed a lot in like an hour. It scared the hell out of me, but
Yeah.
it was fine. Worked out.
And people came out?
Yeah, people came out. It was awesome.
So let me ask you, you play a place like that, a big place. Obviously, that's not your first time playing it. You've gone there a couple times, and you're walking on stage. You see, like, the house is packed, and just before you get started, what are you thinking about?
Well, for a place like that that's local,
Mhm.
I would say that's different from playing a place like that elsewhere, because you look out there and you see a lot of friends.
Okay.
So I mean, it's reassuring isn't the right word, but you feel good. You're ready, and your friends are ready for it.
Yeah.
Feels good.
What do you, when you guys play, what do you hope an audience takes from, a Vansanders live show?
I hope they want to come back. Maybe a shirt.
Okay.
That would be good.
That's a very matter of fact way to, yeah, I hope they take a shirt. Like, yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, I hope people are excited. I like to get people's energy up.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I think, the most important thing, to get people excited about music.
Yeah. Now, I know one of the past Stone Pony shows, you guys opened for Social Distortion.
Mm-hmm.
And, you get that call or that email or something that says, this is, you get that offer, and that conversation ends, you say, yeah, I'll do this. What's going through your mind? Because I kind of feel like that, if I could, I imagine they're probably a bit of an influence on you guys. Like, I can kind of hear, I don't want to say like the same sound, but it's definitely, you could say, you listen to you guys, listen to Social D, and say, like, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the mindset after you kind of, sort of hang up or finish that email or say yes? Like, what's going through your mind?
It's exciting. That's the best email to get, at least for me. I don't know. I love getting emails like that. They don't happen very often. But I guess, like, for a big thing like that, the first thing is like, okay, what are we gonna do different? What are we gonna do different for this show? We got to get.
How are we gonna impress Mike Ness?
How are we gonna impress Mike Ness? Like, can we plan to have a record out then, or what new merch are we gonna have? Do we want to give out CDs? Just all sorts of different like things to, I guess, get the most out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which sometimes doesn't happen. Like, we opened for Lucero. I don't know if you're familiar with Lucero.
Oh yeah, Lucero. Yeah,
Love Lucero.
Absolutely. And their guitarist is in the Hold Steady too.
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Steve Selvage.
No way.
Yeah.
All right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We opened for them once, and that was honestly probably the most excited I've been opening for like a band that I like. Guess I love Lucero.
Did they react to you guys at all?
They were cool, yeah. It was funny. I got really drunk and just would not leave Ben Nichols alone. And that's not the only time that's happened. I've done that a few times to Ben Nichols.
Wow.
He's a good dude. He's a sport, though.
Well, I imagine that, I would hope that he or someone, kind of on that level would be.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I took him to Bond Street once.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah,
come to my town. Like, see what, see what's up here.
He played House of Independence. I think this was last year. Played House of Independence. And I kept buying him drinks while he was playing. But, like, way too many drinks. I would never be able to drink the amount that I made him drink during his set.
Did they still play okay?
And that's saying something. Yeah, they played fine. But anyways, he was outside after the show smoking a cigarette, hammered, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to just drag him to Bond Street.
That's great.
Then I had to leave.
My last question to you is, what do you think it's going to take to get the Vansanders out of Asbury Park and into the
Good
greater
question. I don't know.
kind of consciousness?
Luck.
Yeah?
That's it. I mean, honestly, I think what we need is we need some luck, and we just need to play in front of somebody who's willing to, help us out somehow, get us on the right
Like
tour
Lucero.
or whatever. Yeah, like Ben.
Yeah. Just keep buying them drinks.
Yeah.
So you want to show our audience your latest record,
Yes.
no matter what?
Is it gonna zoom in, or do I have to move it up to the camera? You got it over there? Okay. That would be funny if I had to move it up. That would look
Yeah,
ridiculous.
just walk up to the camera.
It's the world's laziest Zoom. That's how Spielberg used to do it. They used to move things close.
Well, Doug, we appreciate you coming, and excited to hear some of this
Thank you for having me.
music.
You as well.
Thanks so much for hanging out, man. All right. One more with Brian Erickson as Doug walks past me. Look at that beautiful strut. One more with Brian Erickson is brought to you by Mr. Pizza Slice, a Red Bank institution with a new vibe. For over 45 years, Steve operated Mr. Pizza Slice on Monmouth Street in Red Bank. The new owners have 100% kept the original pizza, called Steve's Original Pie, as well as the signature Italian hot dog, my nickname for Brian, and French fries, Brian's nickname for me. Don't ask, we are in the Alps. New additions include pizzas with various toppings that can be ordered by the slice, hot and cold sandwiches, and smaller appetizer dishes. We've kept a lot of Steve's feeling here in the classic video game machines and added delivery service, longer hours, and Sunday hours.
Not Sunday hours.
Sunday
No way.
Hours. Mr. Pizza Slice. It's pizza by the slice. That's not their slogan. Brian?
Let's bring out Matt Cook. Hey, how are you?
Sorry,
Good to see you.
the applause machine is broken.
No worries. I thought you guys would have just, stood up and applauded. But... Oh, there we go. Thanks, Brian.
There you go.
I was eating pizza.
Yeah, he's got crumbs on his hands. Can't do it. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for making it out here in the rain, man.
I was singing on my way over too.
Oh, were you?
Singing in the rain.
All right. So you've got a brand new album called Girasol. You did kind of a soft release of sorts back in December. I mean, it's out there, but you're hosting a release party this Friday.
That's correct. Yeah, that's it's gonna be this Friday night at the Asbury Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have great lineup actually. Oh, sorry about that.
No, that's all right. You don't need to lean in. I'm just,
Yeah. So Friday night, Asbury Hotel. We have a great lineup. I have a bunch of friend musicians. You're actually a friend musician that you'll be playing with me during my full set. But
Yes, I am Matt's bass player.
that's right. Yes.
But that's now we've
One of these days, though.
We
Yeah,
have
one of these days.
Yeah.
One of these days, Chris is gonna jump in.
Chris plays bass with everybody.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
He's America's bass player.
I want to be on that list. Too,
Eventually, one day.
Brian understands.
Yeah.
I do.
And yeah, our pal Pete Stern is going to be playing drums with us, and Evangelia,
Yeah,
very talented singer-songwriter.
Yeah, from Little Rose.
Correct.
Who is now kind of solo.
Yeah, she's going to be doing her solo thing to open up the show, and then another great band, Brian Hansen Band, really
I
good
love
friends
Brian.
of mine. They're going to play as well, so it's going to be a fun night.
They are Brian Hansen's band is like super power trio. That's like what a power trio should be. Like a guy who can actually play guitar really, really well, backed by two just expert level. Like these guys are just 10 out of 10, like expert musicians.
They're just amazing musicians,
they're
but just
incredible.
amazing friends on top of that. They're
Yeah,
really,
they're
really,
really good
funny
dudes.
guys. We clicked like as soon as we met, we just clicked. And
Yeah.
those guys are actually on the record too. So Brian sang on a few tracks, and Will, the bass player, Will Blakey, he played bass on a few songs as well.
Get a close up of the record here.
Beautiful silence. Look, we can make sound over it.
Yeah.
The audience can look and
I was
listen.
just imagining what that zoom in was looking like. That's all.
So
I brought a Sharpie too for you to sign that, because that's actually my copy. Because I.
So wait, I have to sign. Can Chris sign my name?
I'm not forging your signature again, Brian.
Well, we got to get Doug's signature on this too. So, This is your fourth album, and you've been making records for a decade now. Your first one came out
Makes
in,
me feel really old.
Coast to Coast came out in 2008.
2005.
What?
Yeah, 2005. So
Oh,
I've actually
wow.
been making records
For like a
13
decade and a half,
years now, yeah.
almost. Wow.
I just got older.
It's gonna be a bar mitzvah party for this one.
So what's that feel like?
It's well, looking at that right now, somebody else holding it, because those actually just came in like 2 days ago. So that's why we're having the record release show, since it is a real record. First time I did it was my second album, Live, Laugh, Love, which was a double LP, because I didn't really know much about the whole vinyl process then. We had a lot of material that didn't fit on one record. But yeah, never thought I'd have one, and now to have two. And you mentioned four full-length albums. Each one is kind of a different time period out of my life, and it's fun to look back on each one of those projects and kind of see how the songs hold up against each other.
Yeah, and they tend to, similarly to our conversation with Doug. Like, you kind of listen to the first record and you listen to this one, and you're kind of like, okay, yeah, this all makes sense to me. Like, you hear the growth from one to the next, but it all, it amazes me how somebody can grow but remain so consistent in their level of quality.
Oh, thank you very much.
Like level of quality of the material.
Yeah, I mean, I try to keep getting better each time out. So my friend Pete Andrews that I record with, he's been a friend of mine since I was 15 years old. And I've made, in some capacity, I made all of my albums with him.
Because
that's what he told me. He said, it sounds like you. So,
yeah. And there's no like scratchy cassette, Matt Cook stuff or anything like that. It's all real, really well produced stuff, like kind of right from the rip.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of pride myself in that. And, I always wanted to, produce my own records and make solid recordings, and going back to Coast, which was 2005, I don't really cringe listening to my older work like some people do. I do feel like there's consistency there, and I was 19 when that record was recorded and released, so wow, it's a long time ago.
You
It was just sitting on my lap. Oh, yeah, comfortable. Having Vincent Van Gogh on my lap would not be the first time.
He looked comfortable right there.
Well, you know me.
Now, there are a lot of, you said like different albums, you kind of, they reflect different, the kind of different places where you were in your life at the time and things like that. I've noticed, the sort of line that connects a lot of your work is travel and different locales and different places and things like that. How does travel or experiencing different places inform the work you do, inform your songs?
I just think it makes you a more well-rounded person. I love being. I grew up in Middletown. I love being from New Jersey, and
But you spent time on the West Coast.
Yes, I did. I went to school in L.A., so I was out in California for 4.5 years, and that's actually when I wrote the majority of the Live, Laugh, Love songs. It was my 2013 album. Going all the way back to Coast, I had a song called Pittsburgh, PA, which is about my brother. Mm-hmm. That's where he lives. It's a city I frequent often.
That's a good song and a very underrated city.
It is. I've never not had a good time when I've gone out there. It's just a great place to visit. There's California imagery all throughout Live, Laugh, Love. The third record, which was actually my band's album, Matt Cook 75, that came out in 2015. There's a lot of New York imagery in a lot of those songs, and then this current one has a lot of Philly imagery.
It's like a Philadelphia record.
It does, yeah. I my two best friends lived in Philly, and it just resonated with me. I don't know, and it started to come out in song form.
Have you now? You're a working musician, also. Have you always been that?
I knew from the time I was 5 that I was going to be a musician in one way or another. So I didn't know exactly how I was going to make that happen. It's a feast or famine business. People either think you're famous and successful, or you're unknown, and
Or
you
you're,
know,
like,
nobody knows
grinding.
how you're paying your bills. So, but I feel very fortunate that first of all, I love being a songwriter. So this is more like, following a passion more than a job to me. And I work with kids at the hospital, and I work with kids teaching them music lessons, mostly piano and guitar. So I've kind of put all those things together. Was a worship leader for a long time as well. All those things together makes one big being a musician full time. So it's
Now,
great.
talk about some of the work you do at the hospital, because that's like music therapy and things like that, and that's kind of I think a misunderstood field a little bit.
It is. I mean, I'm there to spread cheer. That's really my main job. So
Okay.
I working in pediatrics now for 5.5 years. My main job is to go around, visit all of our patients' bedside, and play whatever they want to hear. So I can learn stuff pretty quickly. I've been given the most unusual requests sometimes. I can go learn it in 10 minutes, come back and sing it for our patients, and that's really what I do. And it's a real honor to be there. Because it's not only uplifting to the patients themselves, but it's very uplifting to the families too. So
Yeah, I'm sure.
it makes me feel really good that I can have an impact on such a higher level in the lives of all these people that I come across.
How does I guess you call it your daytime work as a musician, as a teacher, doing the work at the hospital, and like you said, you're a worship leader. You did a lot of like church music.
Right.
How does your daytime work as a musician compare to playing shows? Getting together with the band and playing at the hotel or playing at the Saint or any of these kind of local spots.
I think it's really what keeps me going, keeps me motivated, honestly, because I feel like it's more than a job to me. I feel like it's a passion, but it's also just it's a calling. That's really I've been a Christian my whole life. I really feel like God has placed me in that setting to play a role in the lives of all these patients that I come across. And if I can bring any bit of joy into sometimes dire situations, I feel really proud that I'm able to be there.
Now you several years back now, you had I guess you call it a near-death experience.
Yeah.
How did that transform you as a songwriter, as an artist? How did that what was the before and after like?
The before and after is crazy, actually, because it really is like having gone through that. It's been 7 years now at this point. Having gone through that, or actually no, it's been 8 or it'll be 8 years in the summer. But it's I can remember that's just like it's just a defining line in my life. I'm a type 1 diabetic, so there's pre-diabetes, post-diabetes. And I just feel like my life, in many ways, got infinitely better despite having such a horrible disease that I have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. But one of those things is I was literally on my deathbed in a diabetic coma, and actually the first song that I wrote was the title track to Live, Laugh, Love.
Okay.
I had been working on that record up until getting sick, and I didn't have that song. I kind of hit it in the context metaphorically of a broken relationship, and you're just telling somebody to go ahead and go away.
Yeah.
But that's me telling my diabetes to just go ahead and go away.
Now, so you're in this coma, you're in the hospital, you come out of it, and at that point you're still there, though you're in the hospital, like all this stuff is kind of going on around you. Including, I'm sure, a lot of uncertainty. What are you thinking about? What are those moments like?
Well, the weirdest part of it was just having a whole week of your life just kind of gone, because I had no recollection, no memory of anything. I remember just waking up, not really realizing where I was. I can pull out bits and pieces of the events of that whole week, but it was just a very unsettling feeling when I woke up. Grateful to be alive, but again, it's it has just shaped who I am and something that I live with every day. And I would say I kind of I kind of live life more desperately now, having gone through something like that, because I know that all this can just be gone in an instant. So I think that's really why I work as hard as I do and try to stay as busy musically and everything else. And I try to do nice things for try to do nice things for people, and
Of course.
just try to be a good person all around.
Excellent. Matt Cook, thank you
Thank
so much.
Thanks, man.
Abrupt change. Anyway, One More with Brian Erickson is brought to you live from Mammoth Music in Red Bank. Established in 1987, Mammoth Music is located at the center of historic Red Bank, New Jersey. Voted third best town in the United States by the Smithsonian Magazine. Brian, do you ever remember what first one is? Stanton, Virginia. We're located within walking distance of the famed Count Basie Theater, Red Bank train station, and many fine eateries. Mammoth Music continues the tradition of being a destination store for all levels of musicians, both beginner and professional. New owner, Mario DiPartolo, a lifelong musician, offers a wide selection of brand name instruments at everyday low prices, both new and used, with personal, professional, and expert service only a family-owned and operated store can provide. Does the neck on your guitar or banjo need repairing? Do the valves on your saxophone need to be refitted? Regardless of what day it is, bring your instrument to Mammoth Music for quality repairs. You'll enjoy prompt service from a team of repairmen who are always available. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please, Doug Zambon. It's perfect timing.
It is.
We'll get it done.
Yeah, while I was sitting over there, I noticed 4 nice cracks in my guitar. I don't know if you can see it with the light. Pretty crazy how that can just appear. Anyways. Late at night when I'm on my own, I wonder what my future holds. I'm on my time and I owe it all to you. Think about my history, the wasted days and hurt feelings. I take another hit and blow it all away. Mother said, don't become like your father, please. Son tries his best to let her down. Whoa, oh, 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 this city's got him dropping to his knees, as does the thought of moving home, home, moving home. I heard him say that I am dying from the cure, like father, like son. We were over before we begun. Too late for apologies. No, you can't go on living the memory. Let go of it, son. Let go. Mother said, don't become like your father, please. Son tries his best to let her down. Whoa, oh, this city's got him dropping to his knees, as does the thought of moving home, home, moving home, 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 moving home. He ran away, swore he'd never come back, cut in his teeth on words of regret, tied to the floor, trying to stand all of this talk of moving home, home, 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 moving home, home,
cutting his teeth on words of regret, tied to the floor, trying to stand all of this talk of moving home, home, moving home, 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 moving home. They said he's got him dropping to his knees, as does the thought of moving. Thank you. Thank you very much. I even repeated the bridge for y'all by accident. All right, this one's called So Long Ago. Woke up feeling hazy, I know. The 14 drink last night got me a bit out of control. I want you to know, I want you to know, that the weight crushing my shoulders is alone. Every time I get knocked down, well, I just lay there on the floor. I want you to know, I want you to know, I'm sorry that I put you through hell. So many lessons meant to learn from but failed. There's only one thing that I know is true. I wanna spend another day with you. Last night's indiscretion left you sad. I can't take it back, but I can give you what I have. I want you to know, I want you to know, that I haven't been the one to help you stand. Any good I've done has been all at your command. I want you to know, I want you to know, I'm sorry that I put you through hell. So many lessons meant to learn from but failed. There's only one thing that I know is true. I wanna spend another day with you. The kind of day we used to have so long ago, so long ago. And now you're all alone, and I hear that you're doing fine. I may have been trouble, now you're walking in the light. I want you to know, I want you to know, I'm sorry that I put you through hell. So many lessons meant to learn from but fail. There's only one thing that I know is true. I'll never spend another day with you. The kind of day we used to have so long ago. Thank you.
Wonderful. All right, this week in events. Brian, you want to join me?
Sure.
Might as well. All right, tonight, Monday, February 19th, Little Dickman Records hosts Studai with Wet Brain at Asbury Park Brewery at 9 p.m. This ends at 8 p.m. Go to the Asbury Park Brewery. Do it. Put this on your phone. Live stream it on the way there. Don't do that. Also, Monday, February 19th is Megan O'Shea's birthday. We love you, Meg. Hashtag Nightwing. Hashtag we're going to break your balls when you're on the show. Tuesday, February 20th. The Pierce Sessions, hosted by Dave Vargo, returns to Pierce Memorial Church in Farmingdale, 7:30 p.m. This month's featured performer are Deidre Forrest and Pamela Flores. I love you, Pam. Brittany on
Two
Fire.
future guests.
Two future guests. All
Yeah.
right. Look at that. Brittany on Fire hosts her weekly open mic at Meatballs and Brews in Rahway, New Jersey. Sign up start at 8 p.m. The week's featured performer is none other than Matt Fernicola. You got a Fern. You got Meatballs. You got Brews. What more do you need? The Vlasic Classic. Rolls on. The Chubby Pickle host is open mic hosted by Cranston Dean. It's a Chubby Pickle. They got alcohol. I found out
Do they?
Yeah, apparently. I found out right before we started that the Mercury Brothers are apparently playing the Saint tomorrow night.
I've never been.
Never been. Can't
I've
wait to
never
check
been,
it
yeah.
out. Great tone. Love you, Roshane. Wednesday, February 21st. The May Darlings, Modern Crowds, and Joshua Mark take over the Celtic Cottage pub at 5 p.m. And Jackson Pine and Ashley McKinley are at the downtown Red Bank. That starts at 8 p.m. Thursday, February 22nd, Dentist plays the Saint with the Black Clouds Baked, Russian Bass, and Grace, Vunderkun?
Vunderkun.
Vunderkun,
Yes,
I love you,
yes.
Grace. Doors open at 7 p.m.
No, amazingly, not a single umlaut.
Yeah, right?
In Vunderkun.
You expect multiple.
You would expect
Also,
several
it sounds like an
umlauts.
expletive. We're just going to roast this girl. Let's get her on and make fun of her.
Yeah, no, let's have her on and not. Let's have her on and ask her real questions.
Why would we do that? Can we talk later about this?
Wait, hold
Listen, not in public. All right. Thursday, February 22nd, the Inkwell Open Mic, hosted by Fern and Avery Mandeville. Is that the fucking Inkwell? Friday, February 23rd, Lindsay Marie hosts.
We've lost all control now. That's it.
Friday, February 23rd, Lindsay Marie hosts Tweed, the Paper Jets. Where it goes now, Ruby Bones, Mirage, and Powerlines at the Stone Pony at 7 p.m. Matt Cook celebrates the release of his brand new album. What is it, Girasol?
Girasol. It's
Girasol.
Italian for sunflower.
Oh, now I learned something. At the Asbury Hotel with support from Evangelia and the Brian Hansen Band at 8 p.m. I'm so close. Levy and the Oaks and the Vaughns are playing the Asbury Park Yacht Club at 9 p.m. The Yacht Club, where you do not need a yacht and you do not need to be in the club. Asbury Park Brewery hosts Fossil Youth, Rich People, Bogues, and Gettysburg Address at 7 p.m. My band, The Birds, is going to be playing in Philadelphia at the Hook Showcase at the Hot House. Message us for the address. We don't know it yet. Saturday, February 24th, the Asbury Park Women's Convention hosts a day of politics and comedy at the Paramount Theater from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mint 400 Records will be hosting a showcase at Pianos in New York City featuring sync tape, Cyclone, Static, and more at 7 p.m. The Asbury Park Brewery hosts Runaway Brother, Halogen, Shark Club, and Hysteria at 7 p.m. Dave Vargo, Arlen
Arlen Files.
I can never do a Files. I love
That's
you,
why
Arlen.
I'm here. That's why I'm
He's so
standing
good,
here.
I can't do his last name. Arlen Files and Jackson Pine at the Chubby Pickle at 9 p.m. My band, The Burn, is playing at the Asbury Hotel at 9 p.m. I think we're doing a cover set. I don't know. I'll find out when I get there.
What covers are you doing?
We're probably just going to do The Way by
The
Fastball.
Proclaimers?
Yes, for 4 hours straight.
Excellent.
Sunday, February 25th, Miko Brando plays Pet Shop in Jersey City at 7 p.m. And close out your weekend at Noise at the Attic at the Inkwell in Long Branch. This week's featured performers include Frog and Fox, My Cruel Summer, Chad Morales, love you Chad, Jimmy Farkas, and Jacob Schneck. We did it. Ladies and gentlemen, please, Matthew Cook. Save me, Matt.
Thanks, Chris. This is from my new one. It's called Cold Girl. And this goes out to my friend Sarah, who's watching right now, because she often listens to me complain about cold girls. So.
You're too high with your sweater on to cover all that skin. You're still a cold, cold girl. Your mind's made up. Your mind's too high. And as you self-destruct, I wonder why. And your loudest silence screams goodbye. You can't tell me anything.
and I'll keep it secret. You're intoxicated. You'll probably forget this. There's no way I'm telling. Kindness laying in South Philly. Your love's not brotherly, it's just a memory. The flower scents surrounds your desk. Time for last respects, sustained regrets, as you live your whole life full of regrets. You can't tell me anything. You can't tell me anything, and I'll keep it secret. You're intoxicated. You'll probably forget this, and there's no way I'm telling, and there's no way I'm telling, and there's no way I'm telling. You're gonna hate me. You're gonna hate me. You already hate me. You're gonna hate me. Oh, why do you hate me? Ooh, 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 ooh.
Thanks. All right, this is also from your record year or so. It's called Father's Day.
Sits on a plastic rooftop chair, wind blowing through your long dark hair. Disguise all your innocence and fun, drink down another Coke and a rum. pierce through your navel cavity, attempt to escape reality. He'll never write, he'll never call, he'll never speak to you at all. It's tempting to lock all the doors, pretending you'll know what's in store. This fire burns from within. We've grown tired from all their sameness. What's worse than what he's done to me? You never had one memory. I know of all that he's to blame. You never even knew his name. Waiting for a sign to show you already know life is better. To see all your invisible tears growing with each passing year. It's tempting to lock all the doors, pretending you'll know what's in store. This fire burns from within. We've grown tired from all their sameness and these empty celebrations, telling of all their greatness. Of fathers we'll never know, yet our hearts just can't let it go. And just can't let it go. Can't let it go.
Enjoyed that.
Great job.
Thanks, Brian.
Matt Cook, Doug Zambon, Chris Dubrow. I have been, and I remain Brian Erickson. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.